but then to me it got slower.
Yeah.
Position. Good. Fix it, but then don't make it slower than when you started. That's much better. That was fine. Just don't take that inside rein in the air.
Yeah.
Make sure you jump the jump straight. Same canter. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's chancing it, right? On the vertical, you're doing what you said you can't do. That one you lengthened out of the turn. This is your canter. You've chose this at this point. 1, 2, 3. No bigger. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Do you feel like he's growing to that?
Yeah.
I want you to jump it slower this time. Commit, slower. Commit. Thank you. Give, follow. That was against him. That was your boob sticking out like, I don't know, who would you know? Dolly Parton. You don't want that. Following is not overdoing it in your position. Stay the same. Good. Give. That's how you have to go with it, right? That's more likely of the position you'll get. One last time, so I know you can repeat it. Little pet on his neck. Commit to your canter. Give. Better. Okay, let him walk. What'd you do in the air? Yeah, you did. Go with it. Much better in the air. Much better. You feel a difference where you...
It feels a lot better.
Yes, but that was a good place with that jump that makes you comfortable to go with him.
Right.
Okay? You need to still have that position even when you're not in a comfortable place, because you have to stay out of his way for him to do his job. You could tell you tried to step in those feet. Your stirrups came off his belly. That was good. It's the same rhythm, working the canter, holding your line. You've been very good and straight. Very good. Canter, walk.
That's the way I like it.
Okay, so what lead is he landing on? He always lands on, for whatever reason, that outside, in between the fish and minion. Not that one. You're going to go in between it in front, because I want you to ride a straight line to a turn. Right? We're practicing our line in and out. 2, 3, coming. Straight. Turn. Now you can get back.
Thank you, Paula. No,
Oh, where'd he go?
I'm trying to.
While you're
Oh, Woody.
Woody. Nice, perfect. Right. The canter on your line. Go on the outside of that option. Stay straight. Yep, like that. Good. Now keep that canter. Same rhythm. Hold your line. cause problems when the jumps get bigger. Same canter, not bigger. Hands down. 1, 2, 3. Step ahead. Besides you having to hold the inside rein for the early turn, that was much better. Okay, give it. Let him walk. Boy. A lot to think about. Why are we way off our line already? Just shoot jump in? Yeah, just this one. Okay. So we talked about that forward kick. Yes, good for you. And then when he gives, right, and he's in that forward step and soft and going with you, then you're like, yeah, that was it. You leave him alone. On your line, look at it. Canter on your line. On your line, inside of piece. Count your rhythm. That's what I want all smoothed out, right? And like I want your eyes to follow the line leading to the jump. Good. And keep the rhythm. Now hold the line. That was better to execute the change, but how do we keep the lead over the jump? Okay, you're bending him to the outside, making sure he lands on the lead, but it's asking him to change. So I want you to keep a little left bend. There we go. Right? So you can land on a straight line without pulling the outside rein to put him there. Right? Because the lead change makes it harder for you to do the same thing. Do we need to sit this early? Right? That's why I just wanted you to like add a stride, practice when you're going to sit, keeping the correct rhythm. Better. Is that the same rhythm for your turn? You sat and it was slower. Why? Right? When you start going in the higher levels, that takes up time. Because you landed on the correct lead, so you just go through your turn. Find your line, count your rhythm. Good. Okay, so you're trying to change your rhythm. Even just that last stride, I saw it perfectly out of that stride and you waited and then ended up in the long spot, right? So you keep going. There you go. That's better. Keep going. Go through your turn. Go through your turn. There you go. Go through your turn. Find your line that gets you straight to the jump. Keep going. Count your rhythm. Perfect. Much better. Okay, let it go. We got to make sure that we're always making those hind legs jump, right? Or else we're gonna run into trouble of his age will catch up to him, right? So the canter's gotta not just be worried about what's happening in front, because what happens when you only worry about what's in front is you shut down what's behind you, right? So yes, this is a smooth, balanced, cute, collected canter, but smooth, balanced, cute, and collected unless they've warmed up their hind legs, is out behind, right? You're taking the nose back, and he's in a sweet balance, but his hind legs aren't actually having to like really step under, right? So that's why Lane, when you first warmed up the canter on both horses, probably made you go faster than you were comfortable with or what you were used to. That's better, right? So especially, it's easier in jump rides, right? Like in dressage rides, Frida warms up the same, just because she's long. And so I canter, and I let her do her sweet canter, but I actually warm up counter canter now that she can do it pretty early. So then I come out of counter canter, and she's balanced, and I can ask her to be more forward, because the counter canter was hard. So when I go back to normal canter, I can push her out of it and say, hey, stay balanced and actually be this forward now that I made you do something hard and went back to easy, and she's willing to do it. So you want to start thinking in your warm-ups the same thing, right? You're at the level where like, it's not, like you can, like the picture itself is very good, we know that, right? But you have to care and start to really be in tune with how they feel, not just based on how they look and feel in the front. Like that was definitely a huge first step that we had to learn. But like, are they actually giving you a good quality gait, right? Would you call this a good quality gait? No. But it's good, right? I'm not saying it to be like, that's shitty gait. I'm saying it because like you need to expect more out of him, right? This is better in the length of step, and I can kind of see his core muscles engaging, right? Getting a little better. But like the trot that we found, for some reason, that's just who he was, and I loved it. I thought it was super fun when he gives you that schmoozy trot, but when he does that, that's where I was like, oh, well, it's a bit extra if you ask me, but that's where we've gained access to his hind legs in the correct way, right? When he does a trot like that. Or just trot him off his toes in the beginning, trot really forward, right? But again, it's a short, fast step, but you're asking him, he has no choice but to keep it forward. Good, so when he goes forward, you lose the suppleness a bit, right? So what happens to their back when their head goes up? Yeah, it's arched, right? When their head goes, if my head goes back, my back arches, same with them, right? When they drop their neck low, their back comes up. So when you go forward, what does his back do? Okay, good. And when they have an arched back, do you think their hind legs work the same? No, because that's like a kink in the hose, right? Yeah, so you got to go forward and say, stay over your back, so that it connects all the way from that power through a rounded back, through his neck and his shoulders, all the way to the front. That's a better canter. Good, let your arms follow out and in front. Yeah, so again, he's not getting trapped up there. Get him supple, and then you want to think about going with him in your elbows. Pull forward in your arms. That's better. I wouldn't let him quit like that, right? He was basically asking you the whole time, kick him, come on. He was basically asking you the whole time and brake checking you, right? Same thing, brake checking. When he's thinking about stopping before you're ready, he's out behind. He's already thinking about slowing down. So he's behind your leg and not pushing forward to it, right? So you could ask him to stretch. I thought that was a good idea. But in the stretch, he can't just assume that stretchy trot for 5 strides means a walk break, right? You could tell that that was something that he was assuming was going to happen, is that he was going to get a walk break the minute that you let him stretch. You think that's a good quality trot? You're right, it's better, right? It is definitely better. Is it his best quality that's going to keep him strongest and soundest for longest? No, but at least you've recognized, right? Like that's what I want you to find is he's got to you have to warm up thinking that that's your goal in mind, right? It's not just to execute, like you're so good now about executing good turns and a good balance and thinking about see, he assumes, it's assumptive, right? And he's made the trot worse on you. At what level do you have stretchy trot? Are you showing at that level? So you're going to teach him that any time he stretches, he gets to have this weird old trot that starts to quit behind? Heck no. That's better. Good. And then you can let him walk when you're ready.